So this one causes a little bit of confusion because the actual name of the trigger is customer replied, but the person who's sending a message may not be replying, and they may not be a customer yet. They might be a contact. So sometimes when people talk about it in terms of the contact replied trigger, sometimes people talk about it correctly as the customer replied trigger. And in both cases, it doesn't the name of it implies that someone we already know is responding, but it's tied to the previous inbound email ideas board issue of what if it's a cold inbound message. So here's a couple of examples of contact replied trigger, the filters on the trigger, or the customer replied trigger. If the contact is already assigned to a particular user, it'd be great to have a filter in the trigger that says none of the rest of the workflow is actions notify anyone else in the contact list in the company team. This one is the request to allow multiple channels to be filtered on the same, and it's similar to this other one where it's talking about picking between the different phone numbers. So in this case, you actually can use more than one trigger on a single workflow. So the other way to accomplish this is instead of having one trigger with multiple channels and filters associated with those channels, you can have multiple triggers. The issue from a production standpoint is there's no copy trigger action function in the builder. So you have to manually recreate every single one of the filters or triggers. Where if you have this function, you can build a trigger one time and set all the channels that it applies to and all the filters that apply, regardless of which channel it's coming in on. So this is related to the cold inbound emails. This is the issue where if the trigger doesn't fire, then we have emails that are coming into the system that are getting lost in a bit bucket because they're not being tracked by the system as a new contact because it's not recognizing them as an existing contact. We talked about the assigned to filtering. This is tied again to inbound filter, the inbound email trigger, and specifically not just filtering on words in the message body, but asking to filter off of words in the subject line. So I'd like to see filters on the inbound email address, the email to address, our email address. So if it was addressed to someone specific in our organization or a team specific in our organization, it should get treated differently. So this is the idea that if there's a keyword in the subject line, then regardless of what the body says, it should still get treated according to that workflow. And then this is asking for not just a customer replied trigger, but a customer reply trigger with a filter that this is not a reply, this is a new message. So this is a known customer or it's a new contact, and it's not a reply to an existing email thread. It's a new email, and thus it should get higher priority. I'm Keith Bashirs, and this is Ideas Board Defines.